Hi everyone, welcome back to an escape from the hell that is our current world that's actually a hidden circle of hell itself. Sorry about that, but it's the time of the year where I reflect back on the absolute worst, most terrorizing creations of the year in order to make my top 25 worst songs. Preparing for this video was harder than usual, one, because it was actually a fantastic year for music despite the feeling that the second hand on the doom clock was one breath away from ticking, and two, because how the hell am I supposed to inspire myself to seek out awful songs when I'm already on the brink of insanity due to our perpetual state of chaos? You already know what I'm about to say, but it has to be said. These are, of course, all just my opinions, and a lot of the commentary here is done for the sake of humor, but my feelings at the core are real, and even if we disagree, I hope you enjoy your time here nonetheless. Grab a bucket of popcorn and dim the lights, maybe help your boy John get this video to 10,000 likes, considering this is my biggest effort of the year every year, and subscribe to ARTV if you're new in town.
Sitting where the girls got big old booties and so pretty, now shake that thing, work that thing.
This one would have been easy to sweep under the rug in such a batshit bonkers year, but don't think even for a second I'm gonna let Pitbull get off with a warning. Mr. 305 has only ever proved one thing in as many years as an entertainer, and it's that he's a fucking one-trick pony with no real purpose, no artistry, just asses bouncing and his sunglass-covered face that's getting creepier and creepier the grayer his beard gets. We last saw Mr. Worldwide on the worst songs list, well, literally last year actually. 3 to Tango was new territory for Alaska's favorite Walmart performer. Instead of rapping about having a threesome, this year he's back to replicating everything he's ever said in the past, including the greatest hits collection. Shake that thing! Work that thing! And if you call an order now, we'll even throw in the hidden bonus track, Drop That Thing! God dang it, Wallows, we loved you, and this is what you give us! I haven't been this hurt since my dad cut up my Linkin Park CDs in 8th grade, so I guess this is another broken shard flying straight to the musical heart. Warming up to the idea of a likable young band trying new things is relatively easy in theory, but when the execution ends up sounding like whatever the fuck Dylan Minnette and company pulled on this nightmare, that's like swallowing a giant marble and then desperately gagging to get it out of your system. No one wanted this direction from Wallows, and please, for the love of God, don't give me some quarantine excuse. I'm very much aware of how the pandemic has affected the industry and has made recording a very different process. I mean, their EP is literally called Remote. We can do the math. The wonky keyboards and slightly out-of-tune guitars that pop up are desperate to sound quirky and self-aware without bringing any of the harder humor along for the ride. It's just a clunky, beat-up car you feel bad for. Like, oh, you sure are trying, aren't you?
When you work it, I put your face to the news. I put the puss on the shirt. After I murked it, make him go shoot up the hearse. Cost me $250.
Hi, welcome to Astro Burger, home of the Astro Burger. May I take your order?
I'm in the loop with the voo. I'm in the loop with the woo.
No, sir, this is not Astro World. We do not have the Travis Scott meal, and we never did.
Ooh, dropped $3 on the rain, cause it's been the truck, little bitch. Ooh,
Sir, could
I
you,
was in the trap serving cocaine.
could you slow down? I am having a hard time understanding you.
When you work it, I put your face to the news. I put the puss on the shirt.
You say a fish fillet with no Cajun seasoning on the walnut burger? What?
I done flew one out to Spain to be in my domain, automata, bitch.
Okay. I think that's $22.98. Pull around for your order. John, you cynical son of a bitch, you're reading way too much into their unbelievable lack of chemistry that somehow passes off as a dynamic duo. Let's not focus on the reasons for why the song exists. Maybe instead we could just stop and wonder aloud. Was this song a complete afterthought or what? Considering the beat switch up and the complete and utter lack of flow trade-offs between Drake and Future, I mean, how the fuck is this not just 2 songs recorded separately smashed together? Life is Good feels like running a cheap plastic container through the dishwasher a few times until the shape just starts to warp and fade, and yeah, that's pretty much both of these rappers at this point. They're way past their peak, they're both in desperate need of a break, they're both dropping off albums full of tracks that are clogging the musical landfills worldwide, and it's actually kinda sad to see how much more mature both of them, well, mostly Drake, were in their prime. At one point it was 305 to the City, now it's the furthest thing from my imagination.
Money's great and everything, but it's nothing to a huge disappointment. Cross a line and then you find an unemployment. Stick around and that'll challenge your enjoyment.
I'm never gonna go viral on TikTok if I don't learn the lyrics to this Corey Taylor song. Alright, come on XX, you can fucking do this shit, let's go! Nothing but a big disappointment? Oh, that's a lot. That's a little too real. That's a lot like my life. All right, let's just go to the next line. Cross the line and then you'll find unemployment. Stick around and I'll challenge your enjoyment. Wait a moment, this whole time. Is this what I think it is? Are you trying to film a TikTok? This is a new low even for you. The fuck? I'm not fucking filming on TikTok. Get the fuck out of my room. Finding a creative outlet beyond your regular day job is great. It opens new doors, reminds you of why you love life, but sometimes, not all the time, but definitely this time, those explorations should be kept under lock and key. In a world where Slipknot put out possibly their best album ever as a band in 2019, we have their frontman Corey Taylor going solo and aggressively enunciating rhymes in 2020. This shouldn't have gotten past the email thread with the boys, yet it was picked as one of the leading singles from CMFT, an acronym so obvious, I'm not even gonna say it. Mr. Taylor has certainly rapped before. I'm not new to Slipknot or his other music projects, he can pull it off, but this track is just straight up embarrassing any way you spin it. His voice is exaggerated as he strains out words to force a rhyme, plus the features from Tech Nine and Kid Bookie talk a whole lot of trash really fast without saying anything at all.
Lies told to you through YouTubes and Hulus.
I think we all know that this pair of hip-hop legends were trying to do something good. I hope we can at least all agree that as black men in America, they used their platforms to, I think, try and send a message about the unfair odds stacked against black men, which is an unsettling fact that needs to be in the conversation in 2020, but the final product, Entrepreneur, is laughably awful, with some of the corniest bars and most puzzling production I've heard in a long time. Pharrell is a unique producer and artist who, over the years, has worked with pretty much everyone in every genre under the sun. He's got this knack for stitching together obscure samples with minimal beats and making a hit, but lately he's been having some major swings and misses, with Entrepreneur being the biggest whiff since he produced The Light Is Coming by Ariana Grande. Half the song is just Pharrell and Jay-Z repeating black man, over and over again, and Jay-Z seems to think that it's actual motivation when you say, well, just get more money. It doesn't work like that. And also, there's this incredibly obnoxious beat hitting like beating your head against a brick wall. Don't think for a second though that he's the weaker of the duo. Oh no, Pharrell pulled out all the stops to make sure that that award went solely to him. The man sounds like me in high school when I was trying to film videos without waking up my parents in the next room. He even goes on a rant about why he won't stop whispering, and it's almost impossible to sit through. Even when he speaks up, he sounds like he's trying to keep his balance on a tilt-a-whirl in the middle of a hurricane.
Stop taking acid, but still got a reflux.
Hi there, I'd like to file a complaint. I've got an edgelord imposter pretending like they didn't rip the beat from Brockhampton Zipper. Yes, I'll hold. I'm not gonna hold, I'm just gonna tell you guys. Denzel Curry is one of my favorite rappers, and I've loved seeing him get more exposure just through the critical acclaim of his albums, through word of mouth, and by touring with the likes of Billie Eilish. So while Denzel seems extremely aware that his fans weren't vibing with the idea of collaborating with Youngblood, I mean, he did his thing, and I can't really fault him for getting handed lemons and trying to make lemonade. The beat not only replicates Zipper, it sounds like a weird Tim Burton film that couldn't get Danny Elfman for the score, so he had to have someone else do their best impression, and I hate that that person is Mike Crossy because I normally really love his production work. This didn't even make the cut for Youngblood's album, so I'm not sure if he just wanted to flex the fact that he could get a respected rapper on one of his songs, or nope, I actually think it has to be that. He sounds like a failing circus act on the dreadful chorus, and Youngblood rapping? Haven't we suffered enough this year? Next!
Jealous clown, jelly on a plate. Sunny side up, I got egg on my face. Waist trainer for a tinier waist, but I can't help it if I like the way food tastes. Yeah, this is me, a woman and I call me, I love me.
can't help it if I like the way egg tastes. Bebe Rexha shoves her foot in the door of the industry yet again. It seems like she's been on the brink of being a breakout star for a decade, but it still hasn't happened. With songs as basic as this, I couldn't imagine why. I thought the mainstream pop market would devour this thing. There's a Doja Cat feature, shallow lyrics about liking pictures on Instagram. What more could the radio possibly need? This is just the lowest common denominator in song form. It's devoid of any real personality, it tries to be as universal as possible, but it sticks the landing about as well as jumping off the high dive into a puddle of water. The music desperately tries to add a little bit of playful edge with some sultry guitars, a little bit of funky bass, but it just can't make up for the lack of everything that Bebe's not giving us.
Because you're rapping fast doesn't mean that you're saying something.
Y'all motherfuckers rap so damn slow that somehow you're literally saying nothing.
Just because you can rap fast doesn't mean that you can rap good.
Well, just because you can rap at all doesn't mean that your motherfucking ass should.
Guys, holy shit, this is so sick. Did you actually know that rapping fast is all it takes to be an amazing rapper? All these wasted years of looking for the perfect hip-hop superstar, and all it took was this group of 4 savage uncles showing up 5 days before Christmas with the ultimate banger that would have even Santa shaking in his boots. My sarcasm meter is at maximum capacity, so I'm just gonna have to shatter your world now and tell you that this so-called diss on mumble rap is a hilariously pathetic showing from 4 clowns that listened to Rap God once and said, "Yo, we hit in the studio, boys!" just as soon as I finish embarrassing the family at the next holiday reunion by spending the entire time complaining about how real music died decades ago.
But John, don't you love Eminem and shit on mumble rap all the time? You're such a stinking hypocrite.
Whoa, 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 calm down there, children. Papa John's in the house with a bottle of Sody Pop to cool us back down. Yes, I love a lot of Eminem's music along with other fast rappers, but the difference between these rodeo clowns and an actual goat is that they contradict the shit out of themselves and make their points fall flat once you realize their entire 5-minute song is no better than the garbage that they're throwing sucker punches at.
You're so fucking cool.
Tones and I wasn't even really on my radar a year ago. I don't use TikTok, and I'd successfully avoided the plague called Dance Monkey long enough that it didn't quite make my worst songs list last year, but after hearing what I've heard, I'm not letting her off the hook this time. That breakout hit for the Australian artist was genuinely insufferable the more I was exposed to it. It was starting to feel like my stalker following me everywhere I went. So now we arrive at one of the follow-ups, You're So Fucking Cool. It is horrible, and to be honest, it's like getting stood up for a first date on your birthday, and then the waiter just comes over and pours your dinner in your lap, and you're sitting there screaming, why would you make that decision? Tones and I being popular internationally just baffles me. I don't understand what the hook is. Dressing up like goofy characters in music videos, terrible production, horrible lyrics? I know 2020 was a tough year, but damn! I didn't realize so many people had resorted to masochism. You're So Fucking Cool just screams try hard from a mountaintop the second you even glance at the title. Beyond the painstaking electro-charged synths dripping like a leaky faucet in the chorus, you've got an artist that squishes up her voice like a tight little ball of rubber bands while bringing up not fitting it at parties. How long must we suffer these celebrities telling us that they don't fit in at parties? Stay at home anyways, it's a pandemic!
I'm at a party I don't wanna be at.
Damn it, Ed Sheeran, not now! But seriously, please fade into irrelevance as fast as possible. I don't even have anything else to add. That's all I can say. Goodbye.
Goddamn, it's my birthday. Everybody love me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at me and give me money.
Hey there, sport. Why the long face? It's your birthday. Well, Anne-Marie told me that she'd be here for my birthday, and it's almost midnight, and she hasn't even texted. Like, what gives? Well, son, you know Anne-Marie. She's gonna kiss who she like, eat what she like, and arrive when she want. God dang it, Daddy, it's my birthday! Everybody's supposed to love me! Santa isn't real, and your mother and I are getting a divorce. What? This can't be happening! Hey, calm down there, champ. I was just trying to cheer you up. I thought you liked torturing yourself, based on how many times I've heard you play an Anne-Marie's song. Do you ever get the feeling that some of these pop artists are just puppets on a string parroting cliches people will double tap like on? Because that's Anne-Marie's entire career on a plastic platter. No personality, pandering to literally everyone to try and get people to make the song their new anthem. Once again, I say, pick a lane, bitch! She devotes a lot of time to talking about how much she's not thinking about someone. Who it is, who knows, probably doesn't exist and was made up for the sake of relatability, but I cringe in retaliation to that ear rape of a chorus she tacked on. I'ma kiss you I like, I'ma eat what I like, and by the way, for the 10th time, I'm totally not thinking about you, and I definitely don't care, that's why I keep saying it so much. We know you care. People that say they don't care constantly care more than anyone else. And this song reinforces pretty much every basic bitch stereotype you could check off on a long list of bullshit I'd rather not waste my life diving headfirst into.
All I do is work.
Imagine Dragons haven't released an album in a few years, and shitty bands like Pop Evil just can't help themselves. They are dying to fill the hole in the charts the fire breathers left wide open. Work is clearly catered to the macho men who spend their time grinding away in the sun with hard hats on, grunting all day, but with a beat drop and halfway rapped spoken vocals and a dubstep sounding twist, it's hard to imagine a world where any of that target audience would welcome this song with open arms.
Dear God, all I do is work out in the hot sun all day, every day. I sure do wish Skrillex would drop a song about it.
Hey there, Tim. Been meaning to get back to you.
God? Is that you?
Yeah, listen, I heard your prayers. How could I not? You're talking about it 24/7. But I talked to Skrillex. He's pretty busy being irrelevant in 2020, but I got someone to make the song for you.
Who could it be? Show me, God.
Alright, I really think you're gonna like this. It's Pop Evil. Oh, come on, you know the band with the song? It goes like, going 155. Love that song.
Yeah, that's great and all, God, but while I got you on the line, do you think you could maybe help me out by zapping away these parking tickets?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Before this, I hadn't listened to Pop Evil in probably a decade, and considering this check-in went about as well as a Child Protective Services visit on Shameless, I'm taking another decade off for my own sanity.
Yeah, I know. Time feels like it's changed. I don't feel the same.
When you get so fixated on being lavish and experimental just for the hell of it, you crash and burn. Notes on a Conditional Form was the 1975 smashing into an iceberg, and Yeah I Know is the soundtrack for the moment the crew knew the boat was gonna sink deep below the waves of the ocean. So if you're not familiar, the 1975 have always been a bit playful with their genre limits, which is fine, but to dumb it down and oversimplify, I guess I'd primarily call them a pop rock band. For whatever reason, they felt the need to start making UK garage music, not to be confused with garage rock, which consisted of tracks like this that, well, they certainly exist. I would never in a million years go out of my way to listen to them, but it's there if you want it. Yeah, I Know goes nowhere and does nothing. Sure, the glossy production sounds dope for a bit, but for it to fall under the band name The 1975? Why? There's virtually no vocals on the track other than Matty Healy being auto-tuned to hell and back and a pitch-shifted voice saying hit that shit to the point of delirium, and it's over 4 minutes long! There's evolving as a unit naturally, and then there's Notes on a Conditional Form. There were other contenders like Shiny Collarbone and Bagsy, Not in Net, but I went with Yeah I Know for the simple fact that it was the moment of no return when listening to the album for the first time. Chase Atlantic are a walking, talking fuckboy starter pack. Talking shit with absolutely zero street cred to back it up? Check. Making empty threats while displaying drugs, guns, and flamethrowers in their lyrics and music videos? Check. Rolling up like they just robbed a Supreme store and passing off lots of bad shit for their obviously very young fandom? Holy moly, holy shit, I think I'm in fuckboy heaven! Getting started as an alternative R&B band was one thing. It wasn't really my style, but I didn't mind them per se. Their second album, Phases, changed everything last year. I hated the direction they were going in, and the lyrics are oddly stuffed with repulsive messages about popping pills and fucking bitches, then tossing them to the curb. They wanted to steal your girl and made the career-defining mistake of assuming that was a personality trait. By the way, this dude literally added my girlfriend on Facebook. This is a member of Chase Atlantic, Christian Anthony, tap on it, that's actually him. I'm this close to snapping on the stealing your girl dudes that always look and sound like total assholes, and Chase Atlantic sound less like a band and more like a bad trip through the wastelands of SoundCloud rap, as Mitty flexes his rackies and talks about how he's gonna stick a flamethrower on someone's ass while he dances and uses a chopper to blow out someone's brain? Sick, dude. I bet you feel hard as fuck knowing all the 16-year-olds out there are bumping this shit while bullying people online.
When you kiss me, I know you don't get two fucks, but I still want that, your savage love.
Jason Derulo, the man, the myth, the pesky little fruit fly of the industry. What a fucking tool bag. Not only did the man originally completely steal the instrumental track that the young producer Josh685 made in a move his team called Going Rogue before they could come to an agreement, he also failed to properly shout out BTS, the insanely popular K-pop group, when their remix of the song helped boost Savage Love all the way to #1. Bro, no one gives a shit about you. They might listen to some of your hits from the past, but there's not too many ride or dies for every move you make. His odd try-hard behavior on TikTok seems to have fed his ego to the point of delusion, and while this instrumental does get annoying with its constant peppiness, Jason Derulo is the only one to blame for this mound of trash. Side note, I am so sick of people using the word savage to describe everything. Oh bro, that three-pointer was so savage. I just crushed 3 burritos at Taco Bell. I'm such a savage. I'm listening to Jason Derulo in bed at 3 a.m. crying my eyes out. I'm in total savage mode here.
Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy.
Alright, that's a wrap on the filming of the WAP music video. Thanks, everyone.
Oh my god, it's gonna be a long fucking night.
Bracing myself because I'm sure my opinions on WAP are about to get me canceled for the 1000th time, but I fucking hate this song. I don't have a raging hard-on against it for the same reasons like Ben Shapiro and the Republicans that see this as ripping apart the moral fabric of our country. I see it as an intentionally over-the-top sexual song that was meant to stir up controversy and succeeded there, but couldn't succeed on not being a sharpened pencil to the eardrum. Who the fuck thought this beat sounded like the right fit for WAP? If you're gonna bring out the bucket and mop for wet-ass pussy, could we at least get a punching instrumental instead of this "there's some hoes in this house" sample that constantly loops in the background? It never shuts up or goes away, the minimalist touch makes the mix feel flat and directionless, plus Cardi B doesn't even sell WAP with a good punchline. Megan Thee Stallion is the featured guest on WAP, and compared to Cardi B, she sounds like a saving grace that stopped this song from breaking into the top 10. Her flow is strong enough, her presence does sell it with touches of humor that WAP was in such obvious need of, but even with her standing a lot taller than Cardi, the core problems don't just magically go away because of a solid guest appearance. No, WAP is not something that I find offensive, more just nasty, off-putting, and problematic in the same way that Chris Brown and Tyga are. There's no subtlety or humor that translates well from the main artist Cardi B, who I really just find to be atrocious on every level of her existence, but did not call out her monotonous controversy-baiting bullshit after years of dunking on Chris Brown for crooning about stealing girls and fucking hoes in sports cars. That would be stupid. Y'all know I'm all about equality, and in this case, they're all equally shit.
Coldest with the kiss, so he call me ice cream. Catch me in the fridge, right where the ice be.
I can't wait to play Just Dance 2021! I didn't realize I could hate a song on so many levels! To say that I'm terrified of K-pop fandoms out loud is kind of a crazy, sad admission, but there's such a toxicity stemming from the worst parts of the fandom. I've seen friends of mine be on the receiving end of hate for no real reason, so that makes me tiptoe on razor-thin ice on the rare occasions I do actually have the audacity to criticize. But then something came along that was so acidic, so bad, it melted down the barrier between me and my vow to never step into this portal. So here I am, standing tall to tell you the truth. Ice Cream by Blackpink and Selena Gomez is a terrible song that sounds like it was written for a Bratz Dolls commercial, but is instead something we're supposed to accept as flawless because, well, they made it, so it must be, right? Lies, all lies! I've done my research. I never like to go off of just one impression and then write off an entire artist, so after some deeper listening, I can confidently say that this is Blackpink's worst song ever. Like, It's not even close. The lyrics are total childish nonsense mixed in with every materialistic cliche you could ever put to paper. Wow, you've compared yourself to looking sweet and tasty, but you're actually tough on the inside? 10 out of 10, genius, absolute brilliance, someone get the writers an award! Ice Cream is guilty of nearly every offense in the bad song book, including the fact that one of the most boring mainstream pop stars of the 21st century, Selena Gomez, was tapped as the guest feature. A quick peek behind the curtains to see what's actually going on with the lyrics lets you know just how ridiculous things are gonna get. Within the first verse, they're on some Meghan Trainor 2015 "do what I say or else" shit, making the statement, play the part like Moses, keep it fresh like roses. Not only is that a hilariously bad rhyme, but Moses is the guy you're gonna name drop? The dude from the Bible.
Him?
All in all, it's just a really hard to swallow moment that has Blackpink sounding way out of their element. You can take this as me trying to save my ass, but I actually do think they're talented, but this just sounds like they're failing to hit a new peak of inspiration, or to put it bluntly, Ice Cream melted and hit the ground the second it was served.
Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? Yeah, you got some money, but you still fucking ugly. Stupid.
6ix9ine returning from prison was yet another thing that made 2020 thoroughly insufferable, so thanks for that one, Skittle Boy. This piece of shit walks free, while thousands of people sit behind bars unfairly because they bought or sold marijuana. Stop for a second and think about how fucked up that is. About how fucked up this man Daniel Hernandez is. A convicted child sex crime offender with numerous gun, domestic abuse, and drug charges that he got reduced by narking on his friends, and the moment that he gets out of jail, he makes it clear that nothing changed at all and he'll do anything he can to get all eyes on him. With a rant like that firing out of me faster than 6ix9ine's own #1 single Trolls dropped off the Billboard charts, you'd think I'd have him up at the top of the list, but honestly, he's not fucking worth another wasted spot on top. I really am sick of giving him attention, but I also just can't ignore the fact that he truly had some of the most vomit-inducing skid marks lining the toilet bowl that was 2020, so know that while I did pick Gooba for the list, it could have easily been the Seasick Punani, or really anything else on that absolute joke that he tried to pass off as an album.
Why a girl so hot? Take everything I've got. Why a girl so cold?
Unbearable. A bit of bear humor to open up this bit that's really less of a bit and more like a funeral for Black Bear's crimes against humanity, specifically the song Why Are Girls from his latest album, Everything Means Nothing. The man is 30 years old and has a child. What are you doing with this fake deep bullshit? Immediately after pressing play, you'll see exactly what type beat his producer plugged in. This sounds like Drake's Feel the Waves meets Sunflower by Posty and Sway Lee, and that blatant attempt at cloning the sound in a box is not flattering, but it's a rose petals on the bed entrance compared to the massive dump he took all over the track for the next 3 minutes. Black Bear whines and whines and whines about his privileged misery. Come on, dude. When your biggest problem in life revolves around girls being too attractive, you know you've gone full-blown simp mode. I wouldn't be surprised if Black Bear was the man behind that lawsuit against female Twitch streamers alleging that they were too sexy for him to resist. Listen to some of these lyrics. Shitty people make you feel shitty. Gold star worthy observation there, speeding down the 405, burning, no sunblock. And then the creme de la creme of cringe. Why are girls so hot? Why are girls so cold? Why are girls so beautiful? The man is 30, acting like he just saw an Instagram model for the first time. I was writing better songs than this in elementary school.
Left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically, I'm saying either way, we bout to slide. Hey.
Dance floor Commander Drake, I'm eternally at your service, sir. Call out your trendy moves and I will follow like a lamb to the slaughter, sir. When he said left foot slide, I felt that. And when he threw a curveball to the masses and said slide to the right foot, I felt that even more. It's not that hard, Timmy. Drake did it in his mansion. You can do it in your mom's 1-bedroom apartment. There's no out-of-touch difference there at all. No, but really, this is Drake in comatose mode over here. He does not give a shit. He's coasting by on name recognition only, and apparently that works because this song was a #1 hit. Something that makes me want to fall headfirst into a Yo girl and being the alpha male found a major breath of resurrection in 2020, and thank the heavens above it did, because y'all know how much I love rappers fucking on my girl. Just when I thought to myself, hey, it's been a while since I was made to feel inadequate because I don't have enough money, I'm a loser with no style, viral sensation Who Heem swooped in to save the day and beat me up with no hands. Let's Link exploded on TikTok like a poorly timed gender reveal party. Much like smoke, this degrading ego trip managed to pollute the system and infiltrate our lungs as a nation even in the midst of a pandemic. Who Heem clearly isn't the type to back down from a challenge. COVID-19 said 6 feet apart, a warning to which he responded, no way in hell am I gonna let some plandemic get in the way of stealing every girl in the world. That, ladies and gentlemen, is true artistry. Because the true artist knows that 6 feet of distance is impossible when you're 6 inches deep in your roommate's girl. It's romantic, really. He even promises to beat it up with no hands, which is the ultimate gentleman move, because if you're doing the nasty in this COVID-ridden world, touching only furthers the spread. So really, Who Heem is out here promoting a whole new form of safe sex.
And you're in the back with your arms crossed, being a bad sport, and wake up in the morning in the wrong room.
Hey, my name is Sam Hunt, and I'm grateful you've taken the opportunity to stream my trash-ass music, including That Ain't Beautiful. You may be wondering to yourself, Sam, how is it that you could write a song so unbelievably patronizing and sexist and get away with it scot-free? Well, it's because my fans are idiots. You heard it straight from the horse's ass, and I mean that in the most beautiful way possible. My female fans see it as an opportunity to make better life choices in order to please me, their idol. And my men out there, well, y'all already know it's what you'll be blasting as you tisk your female friends as they pick other guys over you for reasons you'll never understand. I'm Sam Hunt, I don't give a damn and neither do you. Happy holidays from the South Side.
While it's totally infuriating that this blend of lethargic, breathy vocals that are pretty much just him talking paved the way for him to lecture a girl the entirety of the song, I think the production team deserves a swift kick to the nuts too. Who the fuck thought the final mix of the song sounded like a completed track? Whispering, whimpering, wandering. It's basically just a lazy river in song form. Past the idea of circling the drain lies our inevitable doom. The extremely sexist lyrics, and I don't throw that term around for no reason. For Sam Hunt to sit there so casually and talk shit about this girl that's making life choices he thinks are stupid, to antagonize her when she's at her lowest and say, oh hey baby, that ain't beautiful, he's sadly putting a spotlight on the toxic, abusive, backwards culture that surrounds the South. That mentality isn't satisfied until the phrase turns into, thanks for doing everything I said to do, baby. Now let me ignore you and wonder why you secretly hate me years later. Now that's beautiful.
Let's go out with a bang.
I don't sugarcoat it with AJR. They're one of the worst active bands on the planet, and their mere musical existence drives me up the wall to insanity. Bang dropped in February, and I honestly couldn't believe how much I truly fucking hated every aspect of the song. It's loud, obnoxious, pandering, wonky, and trying extremely hard to relate to young adults. Oh, look at us, just 3 quirky, relatable young dudes who have no idea how to do adult stuff. What are taxes? Oh me, oh my, I guess here's this fun song about it. Shh, shut the fuck up. I've had it up to here with this song lingering on the charts, only further adding to my hatred of TikTok because they made this song stay relevant. It's AJR, so to curb stomp us while we're already trapped in their pit of hell, they toss in some pitch-shifted vocals to stay on brand, in addition to the pure, unadulterated cringe of sampling the New York City subway system announcer. How do people not see how they're trying so hard to be quirky? I know I get all fiery volcano rage John mode when I talk about AJR, but their music haunts me, and I hope you know that I'm not just saying this stuff for the sake of the video, I truly mean it.
I ain't about to bring the ruckus. I don't give no fucks on no shits. I stay lit.
So you're telling me a whole group of people wrote and produced this and no one told them their beat sounds like a cascading fart? Just letting it rip over and over again until the entire song is over.
Goodbye, big fart.
This is misery. Why do I do this to myself? I saw my friends rip this album to shreds, but I got curious because the last Black Eyed Peas record, Masters of the Sun, wasn't so bad. It seemed like they were actually making a concerted effort as they came back, but then they came out with Translation and yelled, "Psych! We cashing out! Hit that Latin trap reggaeton pinata till there's nothing left but dust!" I could make this entire segment just me sitting here reading the lyrics. They're so terrible, but instead, let's just glaze over a few of the highlights. Honey dips wanna send me titty pics. I'm about to bring the ruckus. I don't give no fucks or no shits. I stay lit. I'm Kobe Bryant with no assists. That's 2 god-awful songs in a row that use the word ruckus. What the hell, man? And will.i.am has the audacity to put himself on the same level as the late great Kobe Bryant? Dude, fuck this song. I woke up puffin' on the medical, lunchtime munchin' on the edibles, walking on the ceiling, feel incredible. I'm making every moment unforgettable. This next one here, hang tight. I came from the bottom, now I'm living high. I'm Luke Skywalker walking on the sky. You're Luke Skywalker walking on the sky? Jesus Christ, how lazy can one group be? All I did was take lyrics from one section of each member's verse, and I truly don't think I need to present any more evidence. The crimes they've committed are right there caught on tape. It's just up to you if you want to double check me and be that guy listening to the Black Eyed Peas in 2020 in order to find out for yourself.
Let the sin begin. Your devil daddy's gonna spank you over again. Let the sin begin. The game is nail you to the bed, and you know I'm gonna win.
I mean, you wouldn't believe me unless I showed it to you, so there it is, in all of its sin-loving glory, Devil Daddy himself. But this isn't just some underground project I decided to pick on for no reason. No, not at all. Let me introduce the band Psychosexual as the new vessel for Jeremy Spencer, who you may recognize as the man himself, the ex-drummer of Five Finger Death Punch. Holy shit, this is egregious. A nearly 50-year-old drummer turned Devil Daddy frontman emerged in a band that I can only describe as the Glenn Danzig movie Veronica of the music world. That's a joke that only 1% of the audience is gonna understand, but hey, if you know, you know. I caught wind of Jeremy having a new band without having any idea of what he was up to, so imagine my surprise when I fire up the search bar on YouTube and see the former drummer of FFDP dressed up like Satan singing in a super deep voice about how Devil Daddy will be spanking and fucking me all night long? I should have had the camera rolling. My jaw was on the floor in some sort of hilarious disbelief that somehow actually made more and more sense as the song went on. Psychosexual attempts to be provocative and funny, and hey, it definitely made me fall out of my chair wheezing uncontrollably the first time I heard Let the Sin Begin, but it's not fully in on the joke, nor is it possible to listen to more than 20 seconds at a time, so thank the YouTube copyright gods that I didn't force you to hear more. You don't speak for all of us, John. Devil Daddy signed the back of my beanie, so fuck off. He's a hero. Support the troops, bitch. Okay, show me. Show you what? Show me the signature, dummy. I accidentally did have to wash it one time because my Mountain Dew exploded all over me. It was a complete freak accident, and I had to wash it, and it might have faded off, so, Yeah, you don't have it. Anyways, this song is the equivalent of scraping human excrement off the bathroom floor and having a taste in the middle of a pandemic. So if that sounds like a good old time to you, fire away. Friends, we've come to that point in the video where we're almost through the entirety of the list, but I have to list off some of my dishonorable mentions. These are songs that I also find to be quite irritating, awful, annoying to some degree, and they didn't quite make the list. Maybe some of them, like Theory of a Dead Man, deserve to, but I forgot because they're so fucking forgettable. But let's go ahead and see a highlight reel of these songs that didn't quite make the list.
Never gonna be nobody's love. I'm stuck with you. Yeah, we pay. Yeah, we pay. Loosen up your mind, just learn to fly. In my white tee, yeah, call up White Williams for the hype, please.
I wonder when I love me is enough.
Never gonna give you up. Kiss me like your ex is in the room. You want it, you got it, take it, this is war. Watch me bleed, I love you, you love me. I'm the same way. Love yourself, love yourself. Kiss, sur les périls. You got that yummy, that yummy, that yummy, yummy. You stay flexing on me, yeah, you.
Sweet mother of cringe on a silver platter, Yummy actually exists, and I predicted the downfall of 2020 as Justin Bieber made his grand return by lighting a pile of dog shit on fire and running away gleefully into the night. No good year has ever started with a grown man begging his legions of fans to buy his song's way to #1, and you know that. Don't even pretend you didn't see the cliff coming. After 5 years between albums, you think Justin would have piled away a lot of personal thoughts, feelings, ruminations on life, but instead, he wrote a terrible pop song about his wife's vagina tasting yummy. A word which he says to the point of madness. This song got nominated for a goddamn Grammy Award. A song where he says, "Oh, you got that yummy yum," dozens of times. That's worthy of a Grammy nod, but my man The Weeknd can't get a single nomination? And to pour salt in the wound, of course, Bieber complained about how Yummy got nominated in the wrong category. It's R&B, not pop.
Where do you get off?
Putting a pencil through my eyes sounds more lucrative than slamming the shit through the ear canals for another round of torture. If it was someone else, I'd think they were trolling, but it's Justin Bieber. Of course he expects us to take this seriously. The guy is dropping lines about getting litty and spending racks while dropping the ad-lib, "Yeah, you stay flexin' on me?" What the fuck does that even mean? You stay flexin' on me? Is that some sort of kink? Oh, Haley, tell me about how much faster you're gaining Instagram followers than me. Brag about your new Lambo. Stun on me with your $1 million watch. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Oh, I'm about to bust. Flex on my inability to make stable life choices, leading me to nosedive into hell as I sing about your pussy. That's the sourest of notes I could possibly end on, and I apologize to the thousands of you that are probably mad at me for either including your favorite artist or for getting these terrible songs lodged in your head like a botched lobotomy. It's all just my opinion, and I truly hope that you enjoyed the worst songs list. It's a hell of a video to put together, but it's worth it to see the positive feedback from you guys year after year. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and smash the like button. It truly helps support my content and videos like this, and it helps grow the channel, so a huge thank you in advance for that. There's a whole playlist of my year-end videos on screen now, so tap here to jump down that rabbit hole, or you can tap over here to see last year's list. A special thank you goes out to my Patreon supporters. Join at the top link down below if you'd like to help out, and I'll be back soon with more year-end content on ARTV.